What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for holding me down. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Rita's over there getting some snacks. I'm about to chill out, man. I don't know, it's Friday night. I'm going to be at the game tomorrow, so I'm not really tripping at all. But I just want to kind of hang out, have some fun, and then slow motion. But before I do that, and while she's in there getting some snacks, and then I'm going to get some gas in a minute, before I do that, I want to have a little bit of a conversation with you, and it's partly inspired by conversations that I hear online and also by Michael Irvin. So Michael Irvin, for those of you that are not familiar, is a NFL Hall of Famer. He's also on Undisputed with Skip, and he had a conversation and he was emphasizing something based off of a conversation that centered around Ja Morant. Now, Ja Morant obviously is the NBA player. He's been fumbling over the last year or so, been suspended, so on and so forth. But he's been getting caught up in the streets, even though he's been raised in a good household, in a good neighborhood, and he shouldn't even be getting caught up with the type of guys that he's with in the first place. And Michael Irvin then emphasized how his son, Tut Tarantino, who I did send a DM to, and then he responded with his laughing emojis or whatever. Anyways, he responded and he said, listen, man, I'm an NFL Hall of Famer. I raised my child in a gated community, but this guy, and I went over to his Instagram and I checked it out, and I don't understand why his Instagram still got all of this thug stuff up, right? But he said, man, my son is out here rapping like he's from the streets. He was raised in a gated community. He's basically Papa Doc, right? And Clarence's parents had a really good marriage. And here's my thing, right? Because that was one of the best things that I seen him do. But here's my thing. I can't understand why in our culture, and it's not just as it relates to black people or anything like that, but in our culture, why it's so important to be cool and why it's so important to be dumb. And when I say dumb, I'm speaking all-encompassing in that there's so many people that think being dumb is cool and being smart is lame. When did being smart be lame, it become lame and corny? In most other cultures, and again, this has nothing to do with just black or white or anything like that, because culture is whatever it is that you adopt as your norm, which is one of the reasons why I say the culture is trash. But when did it be cool for somebody to be crashing out, be a dummy? Why would somebody that is raised in a gated community, considering that that is the thing that everybody in the hood and the projects would love to get out into, and they would love to and pray for? Not only pray for them to get out of it, but that's the place that they would want to raise their children in, because nobody wants their people or their children to go through some of the things that they went through in order to get to success. Most of the people in the hood never made it. So why would we glorify something that is bad for us in order to be cool for a bunch of other people that don't even care anything about you? Everybody in the hood crashed out. The hood ain't never loved nobody. I don't even understand why people say you got to go back to the hood. Go back to what? Go back to the space that tried to kill you? That tried to take your life? That created the culture around toxicity and no snitching and drug dealing and prostitution and roaches and rodents and bad manners and all kind of nonsense. It was nothing good to come out of the hood except for you. Let me say that one more time. It's nothing good that it never came out of the hood except for you. And you want to go back to it. And that's not the only thing that we glorify in this culture that make up what it is that we champion the most, which is the culture. It's not the only thing that we glorify. We glorify everything that's the opposite of whatever it is that God said that we're supposed to do. We glorify these women for the streets, and we say that we don't necessarily want them and don't turn a hoe into a housewife, but at the same time, we continue to keep hoes surrounded by us. We talk about how it is that we don't necessarily want our kids to be a part of the culture as far as the drugs and all of that, but then when somebody get on the panel or when somebody have a conversation based off of the fact that they wasn't raised in that, instead of us championing it, or if somebody came out of it and then they made it, instead of us championing it, we think that they got to have some kind of hood stripes in order for them to talk to us. Jail culture. You not real unless you went to jail. What kind of nonsense is that? That is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. Jail culture. So you telling me a dude ain't real unless he did some prison time, And then ultimately that's supposed to substantiate what? That he keeping it 100? And ain't nothing cool about going to jail. Ain't nothing cool about having fentanyl in your system and having that monkey on your back and hair on. It wasn't nothing cool about smoking and being smoked out and having purple lips. I just don't understand it, man. I don't understand. I think that y'all the corny ones. Listen, I had a guy tell me, which obviously he don't know nothing about me because I was that dude, always have been that dude, and is always going to be that dude. But I had a dude tell me that's not even from where I'm from, ain't never been nowhere and all of that. But I had a dude that tell me about how I must be a lame because I've been married for 20 years and I ain't divorced. So y'all want baby mama culture? Y'all want to be raised? Y'all want y'all kids to be raised in a broken household? Because every dude that I know would prefer not to be under duress by his baby mama and wouldn't, if they had to do it all over again, even be in the presence of a woman that they then had a kid by that don't even care nothing about them, that's leveraging the family court system in order to destroy their lives. Oh man, I was the man in high school. Nigga, you 40, 30, 28, 27, 26, 25. Bro, your best years is behind you. My best years are in front of me. Listen, stop normalizing trash. Stop normalizing trauma. Stop normalizing baby mama culture. Stop normalizing and celebrating the whole BMFs and all of the. Why do we need a museum around a bunch of people that was selling dope in their own communities? And I get it and I understand it because it's been programmed into you and it's been glorified by everything that's happened, especially with regard to rap music and, you know, the melodies then put you in this trance and you think that it's cool because it sound good, but the devil is the prince of the air. And they gonna continue to reprogram you based off of the things that's the worst for you in order to keep you down and trodden down and up under and being a part of the prison industrial system and continuing to make license plates for pennies on the dollar and then somebody getting rich off of you. And you think that that's cool? You think that it's stripes because you had a grown man telling you to bend over and cough? And you didn't even have the ability to determine what time you wanted to get up and go to chow? When did that become cool? So you cool because you tough. You tough enough to let another man and have to fight for your manhood inside of the prison industrial complex. That make you tough. That make you cool. Since when? Look, man, I'm different. And I'm always going to stand on and stand up for what is right. I don't care nothing about your feelings. I don't care nothing about the fact that you always been a follower and that you always champion the things that's the worst for us because somebody programmed you to say so. I think for myself, I stand on my own principles, and I'm never ever, and I've been saying this since the beginning when they started to revolt against me, but I've been the same then and I'm the same now. I'm never ever going to champion the thing that's worse for us. I'm always going to stand on truth. I'm always going to stand on doing the right thing. And I see my man over here in the CTSV. You see it? Okay. And I'm always going to stand on doing what's right because I don't believe in broken families. I don't believe in trash neighborhoods. And if you want to help your community, then first be an example of the thing that you want to see. I love you. I appreciate you. I rock with you. I am going to always hold you down, and I'm going to be the thing that I would want you to be. I got to live it first. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Come on, man. I'm out, man.